Focus is, man, it is so hard to do, right? There's just so much stuff going on. I mean, there's banks collapsing today, eggs are $8 a piece. I mean, come on. It gets hard to stay focused on what we're supposed to do. It's hard for me to stay focused on what I'm supposed to do, but I tell you, like, one of the major things that happens to me, and this is just me sorting out my own thoughts here, but one of the major things that really happens to me consistently, like, it's a daily thing I can't get rid of, which is, things pop up and then you get off track. Like I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I've got my goals written. I've got my day tracked. I have a whole catalog of things that I've got planned, morning, night, rolling. But the real problem is I'm on, let's say, the third thing, and then like I get a phone notification and I'm like, yesterday was the bank collapse or whatever. And then, there's always some kind of horrific news going on. And it's almost impossible to not like catch some of the funny stuff, especially like politically. There's so much bantering going back and forth that, you just have to be like the whole Elon Musk thing, he's releasing that stuff. And then you have the House just doing all these open investigations, and you have the White House trying to go back. I mean, it's just like, it's politically interesting, you know what I mean? As far as like it's going to engage you. And the thing is, none of that has anything to do with what I must do today. Like, it has nothing to do with it. And then on top of it, a lot of the news that you get will totally evoke some type of emotion that you weren't even expecting. Like, give you an example. I'm doing a clear coat repair a few days ago, and like I hear like this thing in the background, and it's like some horrific thing that's happened on the news, and there for just a second, like I stop what I'm doing. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible that happened to them. And number one, it was terrible what happened to them, but I guess my point is the more that you open yourself and let stuff in, the more, diluted your day becomes, right? It's like if you start out on that racetrack, think about, you just got that one lane, and now there's 6 lanes going, and now there's 12 lanes going, and now there's 20 lanes going. And not only that, you're kind of engaging on other things other than what you're supposed to be doing. And you do that for a couple days in a row, man, and you're behind. Like, I get behind. I get so behind. This is what happens, like with the podcast, is you have all this great stuff that you're doing. I have a lot of cool stuff, and we like to talk about, like to do. But at the end of the day, if I don't get it done, it just never gets done. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how do I keep that focus rolling from 6 a.m. to the next 6 a.m. Like, it is hard. It is so hard. And on top of that, how do you stay focused once you become, and I call it emotionally compromised? Not that you're like upset and crying, but maybe you're excited about something else. Maybe you're upset about something you've heard. Maybe you've gotten into some type of whatever conversation with someone that's kind of evoked something that pissed you off, whatever. I mean, we all know that anything can literally happen, and it can happen so fast, and we will be so engaged that we don't even realize that we've been pulled off of the track. So we're just literally jumping from one emotion to the next. Like, literally, we start out when we're like, okay, look, man, we got to do this. Maybe let's say you go to work today and the first person you walk across pisses you off for whatever reason. And now you're like focused on that for the next 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Or maybe you get a text from a spouse, or maybe something happened with the kids or whatever. And so, the first thing that this conversation is about is really just the focus. Like, how do you gain that focus, and how do you stay on that track to make the track roll so smooth that you can rely on yourself? And there's a couple ways to do it, but the first thing that I learned that really helps me out and I'm just being honest here because I don't want to present myself as, Mr. I can't be, it's like that old squirrel joke, and it's like I have ADHD squirrel, and the guy looks away to the side. That literally is me. So I don't know. I've never been diagnosed with it, but I just kind of feel like if there was a definition of who I am, that's who I am. And, literally the only thing that I can do after a couple days of this, and I'm getting really off track, but after a few days of this, the only thing I can really, really do, I gotta go plug into some personal development, and specifically personal development. Some people use their spirituality, which is a great. I think that's a great thing. But I mean, that's more about the soul. But we're talking about the mechanics of life. Like, how do you stay 1, 2, 3, 4? You have a list of 20. How do you accomplish that list of 20? Spirituality actually is another distraction, as far as I'm concerned, because it evokes other emotions. And not that you don't need them, not that you don't need to feel all the good things that come with spirituality, but, it's kind of like the spiritual side of it is living in heaven, but we live in a monetary world, so the body lives in a different place than the soul does. So for the body to stay focused and the body to accomplish things, and for us to get it, I very specifically... I just plug in like crazy to, personal development. And, there's so much out there. I mean, there's so many great podcasters. I mean, you can see behind me, I got rows of books. I love books and, reading, and I love just finding out, more and more about myself. And the thing is if you'll just sit down for 5 minutes, and I'll give you an example, like you can take Ed Milet for a second. That guy's, he'll hit you hard. It's kind of like going to church for personal development. This guy is like, he's got like a whole sermon for you, basically. You can just put him on at any point in time, and you'll be like, dang it, I screwed up. I need to get back in it. I need to get back in the game. I need to go. And somehow you'll get your focus back. And I found out that, a few things that I've done to try to, really laser it back out is I've just had to cut the phone off. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like the phone's gotta go. I can't help it. Like with Twitter, like I'll stop for like an hour, take a few minutes, and then let's face it, Instagram Reels is amazing. Facebook Reels are amazing. YouTube Shorts are amazing. I don't even know how these people have the time to come up with the craziness that they come up with. But I can literally just watch this stuff to my own peril for hours. I mean, I'm not going to, but I could. Like, it's that entertaining. But the point is like, it literally is just a distraction on whatever you need to get done with life. So my go-to to try to repair my broken brain circuits is a little bit of preaching from my, self-development brothers out there that are just, and sisters. I'm going to tell you one of the great ones out there. I think she's a little under-recognized. I mean, she's recognized, but like, I feel like she has a bigger impact than she's given credit for is Mel Robbins. I think she's amazing. I think she's an amazing person. You can, it doesn't matter what she's talking about. She always goes back to the basis of, all right, let's do something. Let's get focused, right? And then you can go into Tony Robbins, same thing. He's been doing this stuff for like 40 years. He studied under the Jim Rohn. And the guy has an amazing story. And then you got the School of Success. That guy. So there's literally hundreds of resources out there for someone that needs to just get grounded. And I would just suggest get grounded. You know what I mean? Get grounded. Now, we all know that we need to have goals to start out with, and we know that we need to have habits developed, and we need to have all these great things that help us in life. But the one thing that I find like my go-to if you get into the muddy water, this is the one thing that I do. This is the one thing and I do it daily because let's face it, squirrel, that's me. I'm the squirrel guy. So every day I really try to focus on and do some level of personal development that will at least keep me grounded. You know, I'm still a work in progress. Got a lot of work left to do on myself. But at the end of the day, if you're lost out there today, do yourself a favor. Go to some just plug in personal development. It doesn't matter who it is. And you'll find your brand, right? You'll find who you like. And, you know, somebody's going to connect with you. And it kind of gives you that, you know, that mental break that you need from all the salacious news that's out there and the world ending and the this and the that. And, you know, it's always the worst of the worst to everything. But you know what? Like Warren Buffett says, don't bet against American business. Never bet against American business. Bad idea. Over the last 100 years, it's always performed. So there will be ups, there will be downs, there will be lows. We've had plenty of Republican, plenty of Democrat presidents. No one's actually tanked the U.S. yet, although I think we're close. But the point is all these things happen, and you know we're one of 8 billion people, whatever it is. And in our little world, if we could just focus on that, we could kind of add to the collective of making it a little better, and maybe get you through your day a little better. Peace out. You got the Car Man RV.